Good morning everybody, hope you're doing well. Lovely day, shorts are out. Shawnee's back with us today after being at college yesterday. We are just waiting for the metal bungs to arrive. Anyone who's seen us doing before, I understand that Wiska do their own, but basically my fault, forgot to order them. So we've got metal ones on the way. They're coming today. So what do? Well, we have a mixing station. Shawnee's got it up there, which is basically a bin bag, because if you get any of the magic gel on any of this, that is it, it's clotted up for good. It takes a good cleaning. So we turn them on the side, take a knockout out, and then pour it in, as opposed to taking the lid off. And then what you find is that it fills the entire space of the lid. Give it a little minute, give it a knock or two, and then we can re-pour some more in just to top it up, and then that way that you know that every single connection in there is covered. So this is one of the lights that are going to go into the floor space here. These have been cored out for us. So what we've got is an extension to this, because we couldn't get the armoured through. We've had to go through a tile in that bit. So what we've done is we've just extended it out, and the armoured's on that point over there. So we have put it into the hole, and we're going to fill it in here. Top tip, if you've not used this before and you get hold of some, prep all your boxes first, or prep enough boxes so that you can use all of it. It does set very quickly. I don't remember it setting as quickly as when we first started using it, but I think the formula's changed and it does actually start to cure within 5 minutes. So if you don't get it poured in pretty much straight away, you will start ending up with loads of little bits of solid stuff in the bottom of it. The benefit of this stuff is that it does set quickly, obviously as long as you get your right amount. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So what you have on here is you have little measurements on the cup that comes with it, which is really handy. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember how much one will do of these boxes with the 20mm knockout, but I'll let you know shortly. Basically the same amount of each into there, give it a mix, and then start pouring it in. Now what I was saying before is this is our mixing station, because we're going to be doing it in here. It's not too bad if some spills over the edge of the box, but if you're doing it anywhere near anything that needs protecting, really take care, because it does go on and it will stain. It is that good. So Shawnee baby's on with a mix now. What we're going for here is 200 and 200. As I say, that won't fill it up. So he's mixing that one in first, clear, and then next up it is blue, and here he goes. And again, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, so you're going to mix that exactly the same, and this is all provided in the box when you buy the magic gel. So he's gone even on those. So we haven't filled it all the way up, just because we've only got a couple of boxes open at this moment in time. So Shawnee baby's on with the mix, so we give it a little mix for about 30 seconds. Okay, and then we're ready to start pouring it in. So that'll go onto the workstation, which is a bin bag. Leave it in there. That's it. And then slowly pouring it in, making sure we don't get any. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. That's it, nice and steady with it. In it goes. Looks nice, wouldn't recommend drinking it. It is odourless. It's one of the features on the box. I wouldn't mind if it smelled a bit like something, a bit of bubble gum or something like that. Wiska, if you're listening, some scent in it while we're doing it, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe gin and tonic, that seems to be a popular smell. So that one's full now, none onto the sides here. That's in, and it's near enough full, but what we'll do is we'll give it a little minute, and then basically our bungs will go in there, and what you can see just through there is now all of the wagos inside are all gelled up. This one's going underneath there, and there is another one with the armoured on the other side. So Shawnee baby's going to grab that one now, making sure we don't go over all of this. I'd rather trample a few plants around here, lad. And then this is what I was saying before about having some prepared. It's actually better to make a little bit too less and then have to mix up more than have too much sitting there for a couple of minutes while you get the rest of the knockouts out. So over on this one, give me 1 second, lad. So he's just keeping that moving, whilst I just went and got this. So basically, again, you do not want to get anything onto these stones. So what we'll do is we'll just tuck that down there. We've stood it up using a little rock here, and then Sean's going to take it nice and steady and get this one filled in as well. So this one here, this box that we're filling now, we have 3 of them, and basically these are feeding these small lights. A little bit of silicone around the edge there, when they were cored out by whoever cored them out, they have gone a little bit big on the coring of it. So just to stop water filling up from the top down, we've put a bit of silicone on there, and then underneath there's an adaptable box which we filled, and that's got a driver, because these ones are the only lights on the circuit that are 24 volt, and these look lovely. directed across the path, so as you come down it'll be nice and uplit for you as you come out to your pool. So Shawnee baby's on with that one now. Yeah, basically that's that one near enough done. Not quite, but we'll go around and give them all a little bit of a top up. Any air bubbles that are trapped in them, what we tend to do is leave it for a little while, let it have a little bit of a set. We give it a couple of taps just to make sure that any air bubbles or anything that's trapped in there comes out. Sean's back on the mixing station over here, so he's just putting the rest of that in. So it looks like, what was that, 200 and 200? Yeah. So it looks like 200 and 200 does 2 boxes. So you're looking 100 mil a box, is that right? Yep. If my maths is anything to go by, I didn't have much sleep tonight. So yeah, basically we'll carry on now. As I say, top tip, mix less than you need for each box that you've got prepared, for the total number of boxes you've got prepared. It's better to have one that's sort of half filled like that now, without and then having to mix some more up, as opposed to having loads, because it will start setting. Yeah, basically that's that one near enough done. Not quite, but we'll go around and give them all a little bit of a top up. Any air bubbles that are trapped in them, what we tend to do is leave it for a little while, let it have a little bit of a set. We give it a couple of taps, so you're looking 100 mil a box, is that right? Yep. If my maths is anything to go by, I didn't have much sleep tonight. So yeah, basically we'll carry on now. As I say, top tip, mix less, just to make sure that any air bubbles or anything that's trapped in there comes out. Sean's back on the mixing station over here, so he's just putting the rest of that in. So it looks like, what was that, 200 and 200? Yeah. So it looks like 200 and 200 does 2 boxes. So while Shawnee baby's just doing the rest of them, this is the stuff that we're using, in case you haven't seen any of the pictures. So this is the Wiska MP Gel Plus, 2 component, up to 1 kV. So on the back here it tells us a couple of bits. So you can re-enter it. It's non-irritating, removable, so you can take it out of the box and redo the box again. Moisture protection, which is good, odorless, non-toxic, and low viscosity, which basically means it's easy to pour. Instructions on the side there. So mix up 1-to-1 ratio, stir it for about a minute. We normally do about 30 seconds because it does set quite fast. As long as you give it a good stir. Pour it in, and then after 12 minutes you should be set. So on the back of this it does say that it's removable, and it does say that it's re-enterable, so yes, that is true. It will turn to like a jelly after a certain amount of time. What we'll do is, when we come to top this one up that we opened up the other day, I'll show you what it goes like inside. In fact, I think Sean's got some pictures, so I'll put some pictures up in the story in a minute of what it goes like on the inside of it. Basically what we're checking for when we're pouring this gel in is that it's not coming out anywhere. So where the stuffers, obviously the flex that comes with these, we stuffer them in. What we're basically doing is making sure that they're tightened up enough so that it doesn't start pouring out that stuffer. Last thing you want to be doing is having this box up like this and pouring it in, and then all of a sudden it's just coming out the stuffer on the other side of it. So yeah, that's one of the main things to watch out for when you're doing. So very quickly, another little benefit of the gel. What's happened here is one of the stuffing glands has failed, basically. So it was tightened all the way up for whatever reason, maybe cross-threaded, maybe poor when it came out the factory, I don't know. For whatever reason it's failed, and what's actually happened is the gel has come out. What you can see is it's already started to set in there, but the rest of it's poured out. Now it's a bit of a waste of gel, but actually what that tells us is to replace it. So that's what Shawnee's got in his hand now. Brand new stuffing gland to go in. And as long as it all stays in this time round, happy days. And it just gives us that extra sort of reassurance now to know that it's definitely watertight. Right, so me and Shawnee baby have just come back from our lunch. Thought I'd show you, we've left these on the side. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a gel now. It's started to set. Now around the outside it will have set. I'm fairly certain it on the middle of it, it won't quite have set yet. But now we're basically ready for our bungs. So these are 20mm metal ones. These will go in here. We know it's all sealed up because it hasn't poured out, basically. We know there's a good connection in there. And then what we'll do next is we'll put him back down into the bottom and get this one in. And then there's obviously all the other boxes that we've done. We'll go around and get all those as well.